Pentagon believes that in the wrong hands, it could be a major threat to our security. It's a new class of silent submarines. And right now, one of the submarines is in San Diego, with our military trying to figure it out before somebody else does. Channel 4's Chuck Henry here now with exclusive details. Chuck?
All right, thanks very much, Paul. The threat is real, and it has the Navy so concerned that it's turning to the nation of Sweden for help. That's because the Swedes have really the ultimate in silent and stealth submarines. And tonight, one of those subs is stationed at Point Loma in San Diego. Now, earlier this month, we had unprecedented access to this Swedish submarine and its crew. So what you're about to see, few people have ever seen, certainly not in the United States.
On the surface, it looks like any other submarine, but the U.S. Navy says it could be the most dangerous sub in the world.
Being noisy is, of course, something that's dangerous for us.
Fredrik Linden is commander of the HMS Gotland. He and his crew of 29 called the sub base at Point Loma home. They came here to San Diego because the Navy is worried about this new generation of silent subs. The Pentagon leased the Gotland for 1 year, but has now extended that lease for a second year as they try to learn why this submarine is so difficult to find underwater. Subs have always had two weaknesses. They make noise and they can't stay submerged very long. But the Gotland runs on a high-tech system called Air Independent Propulsion, or AIP.
With AIP, I can stay submerged for weeks.
Not only can this submarine stay submerged for about a month, the AIP technology also makes it quieter than other submarines and almost impossible to pick up on sonar.
When the Gotland wants to be silent and undetectable, especially along coastal waters, there's no place it can't go. And that's one of the reasons it's here.
Since last summer, the Navy has spent months playing games of cat and mouse with the Gotland off San Diego. And time after time, the Swedish submarine has eluded its pursuers.
As an adversary, how good are you at what you do?
Very, very good.
According to Swedish newspapers, in training exercises, the Gotland has sunk our most sophisticated nuclear-powered submarines. But perhaps even more disconcerting, it reportedly sunk our largest aircraft carrier, the USS Reagan.
She's really run rings around our carrier battle groups.
Norman Polmar is a military analyst who specializes in naval intelligence. He says that since the end of the Cold War, the funding of the Navy's anti-submarine warfare program has been scaled back dramatically. As the United States funnels billions of dollars into the war on terror, countries like North Korea, China, and Iran are building or trying to get submarines like the Gotland. 2 months ago in the Persian Gulf, Iran tested a new anti-ship missile fired by one of its submarines. If the Iranians are successful in getting a Gotland-class submarine, it could pose a new silent danger to the vital oil tanker traffic in the region.
With more of these submarines being bought by countries that don't particularly like us, Iran being a good example, yes, there is a threat.
And the commander of the Gotland knows just how vulnerable the United States could be if a sub like his fell into the wrong hands.
If I was to look at our coast in North America, was there any place you couldn't go?
No.
No place.
And there is more. The Swedes are currently working on another silent submarine that can also survive a direct hit by a torpedo. But the United States remains committed to our nuclear submarine force, and there are no plans to develop a submarine or purchase one like the Gotland. The Navy says it just wants to know how to detect and kill those subs. Paul and Colleen.